I don't even know how to start this. Oh, man. Alright, we're going to go through this really quickly because, I don't even want to go through it. Um, I actually had a life today, so I missed most of the card, and man, I don't regret it. I went to the beach today, so that was kind of fun. But from what I heard, Cody got some points deducted. I need to watch it. I saw that he threw up, and then he won. This is. I'll just spoil this now. This is the only fight that I got right, and I picked it as a joke. I'm not gonna say the joke out of respect for Drew Dober because he apparently doesn't like the joke, and like it's affected his personal life. So if you know, you know. Like normally, I'm not gonna like be like, oh, like I'm not gonna be like super sensitive. But if it's affecting his personal life, I'm not gonna do that to him. So, um, and what I find the only reason I find the joke funny is because Drew Dober is the coolest dude ever, and like it's not true. It's not because I actually think it's true or anything, obviously. And I would hope it. I would hope that everyone knows that, but whatever. This is the only fight I got right. This was a really cool watch. That was a beautiful KO. Um, I stopped watching this because I was bored. Oh man, Rainer de Ritter, you let me down, man. I was really hoping you could fluke this because Kyle Baralho is not good, but now we've got to watch him fight a guy in the top five. He might get DDP. I don't think so because I kind of think he's going to get DDP. Is going to fight Brendan Allen, and it sucks because I don't know. He might get the Israel Adesanya fight if Izzy wins, or if Pfeiffer wins, he'll probably get Pfeiffer. Because even with an Izzy win, he's not getting a title shot off of it unless it's like a first round. But even then, they'll just say that Izzy's washed. I don't know. I can't stand Kyle Brauhaus. So I was really hoping that Rainer could fluke it. He couldn't. Rainer, man. Now I'm not so happy that you beat Robert Whitaker when you got matched up against Robert Whitaker. As much as I love Whitaker, I was willing to root for Rainer de Ritter, just because at the time I really wanted to see DDP and Rainer de Ritter fight for the belt. I thought it would have been just a funny fight to watch. Yeah, that's clearly not going to happen. Hopefully I get to see Rainer de Ritter versus DDP at some point anyways, but I don't know. I think he's kind of cooked now. He's going to have to fight people ranked below him for probably the rest of his career, and then he's out of there. And yeah, we've got to watch Kyle fight in the top five. I just don't know who he's going to fight. Like I said, I don't think he gets DDP. He's not getting Strickland because they like each other. And I don't see why the UFC would like force their hand to fight each other. Who's next? It's Imavov, who he's already lost to. Oh, I guess he could fight Fluffy. That's not okay. Give him Fluffy. I'd root for Fluffy so hard, even though I didn't necessarily like Fluffy either. I think Fluffy's a lot cooler than this guy. I just can't. I don't even know why. For all I know, Kyle's like a cool dude as well, but I just don't like him. I think he's the worst fighting nerd, and I feel like he got the team leader vibe without actually like doing anything. He got he won. Maybe he did finish Jared Cannonier, but I'm pretty sure that was after like a 3 month turnaround when Jared Cannonier just wanted to get another fight in after he got an early stoppage from Imavov. I don't know. And that's his best win. He lost to Imavov. Shouldn't have gotten a number one contender fight, but he did. Got wrecked. I'm rambling too long. This card doesn't deserve this much of a thing. Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway. I'm not like mad that Charles fought the way he did. He did what he had to win. I get it. It's just and like the BMF title, guys, let's not kid ourselves. It's not a real title, but it's just unfortunate because this could have been fireworks. Like on the feet, Max was lighting him up. He was hitting his chin so much. I was like, ooh man, this is gonna be a good fight. And Charles totally could have struck with him and made it really competitive and fun to watch. But he chose the safe option where Max just hasn't really had to go against a good grappler before. I was kind of hoping that since he'd fought Volk and didn't have too much trouble with him and didn't have too much trouble with Ilya, that, it would work out. But those guys just aren't the same offensive wrestler and as well as submission artist as Charles. So, it is what it is. We found out Saturday night. Max, you're probably, maybe you get Paddy Pimlet. Maybe you get the winner of, I don't even know. I don't know. This card just sucked. I tried to find like a UFC White House card. I can't. So we're just gonna have to go with it. The first one's Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia, I believe. That's a great fight. That deserves to be on there. Whoever put that together, like, you deserve a raise. I know you're gonna get hate because the casual. This is meant to be like a casual card, and I understand that. Great fight, no problem with it. As far as it being on the White House, like, okay, yeah, fine, I get it. This is meant to be a casual card, but like, guys, that's gonna be a freaking good event, or that's gonna be a really good fight. So, no problem with that. Next up, I believe, is Fraud Nickel versus Dawkins. I don't even know who that guy is. It shouldn't be on there. I'm not surprised that Bo Nickel's on there. They did it for UFC 300. They're gonna do it again. Honestly, I think maybe Trump likes Bo Nickel, but I'm pretty sure the only reason they're doing it is just to piss people off. And I think that it's low key rage bait just to make us like tune in just to watch Bo Nickel lose again. And then there's one more that I'm not. Oh, Chandler and Rufy are fighting. I don't have a problem with it. Chandler's got to be on the card if he's not fighting McGregor, and giving him the fighting nerd that's actually fun to watch. He just slimed Rufy. I don't remember his actual name right now. I think Rufy's just gonna whoop him. Yeah, that one, like, it was always going to be on the card, something like that. I'm not very happy about it, but I get why the UFC's doing it. Moving up, we have Sean O'Malley versus Amin Zahabi. Okay, we're going to take a break from, the fights. Okay, we're going to say, I'll just tell you guys the card in case you guys don't have it pulled up or whatever. It's Sean O'Malley versus Zahabi, and then the co-main is Pereira moving up to heavyweight, like we already knew because he vacated his light heavyweight. He's fighting Gane for the interim title, so we don't know what's up with Aspinall. The UFC, in my opinion, made the correct decision in not stripping Aspinall for the belt. I think that would have made fans even more salty, so I think they did make the right move. I do think with the heavyweight division, there was no right move for this. Because, you strip him, all the Aspinall fans with, Guru are going to get really upset. I don't know. I think the higher risk, but maybe higher reward would have been to put in Volkov in there. Because it would have shown that they still, pay attention to how many people were upset with Gane ruining another title fight. And they're like, you know what? We're not rewarding a cheater, and you low-key robbed Volkov just to get your title shot. This is what happens. I would have liked to see that, but I get it. Realistically, Gane's got more name value, and they don't want another Russian on the card. So whatever. I think that's the best fight they could have gotten for the circumstances of the heavyweight division. And then we have Ilya versus Justin Gaethje in the main event. I pretty sure I uploaded the video of me criticizing the UFC for potentially not doing that because U.S. officials were upset about it being an American probably getting knocked out on the main event. Okay. I'm going to talk about how I am a little bit confused because I feel like for the most part, people are just kind of saying the White House card sucks. I do want to say I really do think that the UFC tried really hard to make this a truly spectacular card. because guys, they were willing to put in Sean O'Malley. They were willing. First off, they were willing to put in Ilya Taporia and Alex Pereira, which are maybe Islam Makhachev's bigger. Islam is just such a hard, like, star power guy to gauge for me. I can't tell where he is. He could be the most. He could be anywhere from number 1 to number 5 as far as like numbers go. I really don't know. He's my favorite fighter, obviously, but I don't know if that's necessarily me being biased or not. But, anyways, Ilya and Pereira could easily be number 1 and number 2 biggest stars on their whole roster that's available to them right now, especially with Jones and Connor not being reliable. So the fact that we're even getting those two on the same card is just phenomenal. So I do think the UFC really tried to go, and then not even to mention we got Sean O'Malley on the card as well, who I think it's pretty safe to say is the number 5. I'd say Islam, Ilya Pereira. Maybe Hamzat's bigger than Sean O'Malley, but there's no... And maybe Volk, but honestly I think Sean O'Malley is a bigger draw than Volk. Obviously I like Volk more, but, you know, I think Sean O'Malley's a bigger star. The fact that we were going to get all 3 of those fighters on the same card, that was never ever going to happen under any other circumstance. Even the UFC 300, we didn't get that kind of thing. So I do want to give the UFC credit for trying. They were willing to dump stars on us for this card. And I will say, considering the mess that lightweight and heavyweight have been, I think they did a pretty good job. They listened to the criticism of potentially scrapping Ilya and Justin for the belt, but I feel like they should have just done Ilya versus Islam, because it's not like it would have been Ramadan. It's just confusing. Because it's the best 2 fights they could have put on considering the circumstances, but I feel like for the White House card, you want that mega fight, and they just couldn't get it done again. And I don't even really want to be negative. Okay, last thing I'm going to be negative about. Sean O'Malley versus Amin Zahabi. Like, Corey Sandhagen is right there. He hasn't fought. He needs a fight. Why are we giving the opportunity to Amin Zahabi? Don't get me wrong. I know what they're doing. They're trying to get him knocked out in the first round from Sean O'Malley. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And then we're going to get Sean O'Malley really back in there for a title shot. And honestly, I think that puts him ahead of Umar. Probably. I know people don't like that, but I mean, you beat Song Yadong and Zahavi. Those guys are both ranked higher than... Who did... Figgy and Batista. They're ranked higher. I mean, it's probably going to be Sean O'Malley for the winner of Peter Yan versus Merab 3. I don't know. I don't get it, because Corey Sandhagen is also an American. So if everything goes wrong and Sean O'Malley loses, you still have an American that gets it. And the hardcore fans have been wanting Sean O'Malley versus Corey. And you've got Sean O'Malley saying, I'll fight anyone. Like, why? Maybe it was a budget thing. They didn't want to run to the budget. But, Corey surely wouldn't have asked for more than another $500,000 at the most. And, I mean, you guys are spending, $60 million on this card. Is another $500,000 really breaking the bank that much just to get the fight done? I don't know. I'm so confused about that, because I really don't want to be negative about the card, because I see the UFC really did try, because they were, again, guys, the fact that we're getting Pereira, Ilya, and Sean O'Malley on the same card is ridiculous. But the opponents that they have for him are just they don't have a whole lot of impact. and that's just frustrating to see. Um, and I really haven't wanted to get on here and complain, and now I'm getting on here and I'm complaining 2 videos in a row. But I think it is unfortunately time to start adjusting expectations for the UFC. Yeah, I think in Paramount, I think we're gonna have to adjust our expectations. Because then the other thing about this, guys, is we obviously knew that we're not going to put 6 or 7 title fights on the card, but now that we know there's only two, where are the title fights? Where is that Amanda Nunes card? Maybe that's one that did fall off. Where's the Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison fight? Where are Peter Yan and Murad? If they're not going to be on the White House card, fine, but then where are they? Welterweight, like Islam, you need to be fighting soon as well. We're in March. You got your belt in November. You didn't take any damage. I know Ramadan's happening right now, but we should be in talks of who the next opponent is. We should be getting a good idea. Middleweight as well. Hamzat versus Strickland. That needs to get announced like ASAP. I guess that one was Strickland just won, so probably won't hear about it for a while. But it's just frustrating. I don't know. I really hopefully that it can all go their way though, and we get. Well, the main event, honestly, as long as it ends in a knockout, the UFC can't really lose that one, because either you get Ilya staying as the champ, or you get an American story that's going to go down in history. It might end up aging just as well as the Miracle on Ice, because I guarantee you Justin Gaethje's going in as a plus 500 underdog against Ilya. So if he pulls it off and he KOs Ilya, then that's an American story that's going to live on for forever because it's on UFC 250. I hope that Pereira wins. I'm gonna be so mad if Pereira loses this and we have to see Gane with another interim heavyweight championship belt. That would suck. And I hope what we get out of this is Pereira smokes Gane, and then we get to see Pereira versus Tom Aspinall. That would be such an amazing fight. And then obviously Sean O'Malley just knocking out Amin Zahabi. That would honestly, I think that would make the card so much better. Because at the end of the day, I do think all 3 stars have gotten about, maybe Pereira's a harder one. That's kind of like low-key tough. But Sean O'Malley and Ilya have gotten like the easiest possible matchups for this card. So they need to deliver. It's now on them. That's one thing that you have to give the UFC. They are giving the stars like the easiest possible fights. So now it really is on the fighters to make these entertaining. Because if they can't, then go find new stars, UFC. And I'm so serious about that. But those are my thoughts on both the probably the worst card of the year. Also, because I picked wrong. I don't know if this is the worst card of the year or not. I kind of feel like it is because one title fight and it's the BMF title fight. This is the co-main, and even worse, this was the co-main and this guy won. And then also the UFC White House card. It really isn't that bad. It's just not what I was expecting and hoping for. Take care, you guys.